Patience, people who are lost, thank you for making your way to the right venue. Welcome to the Echoes of Us book launch. So excited for today. Before we start though with the formalities, I would like to welcome Representative City of Ikumbeni just to give us a formal welcome. They are a key partner that's assisting us to make sure that this event happens today. So they've helped us out with venue, PA system, projector, just to make sure that this vision comes to life. So I'd like to welcome Mr. Bafana. Mr. Bafana Mohale, right? Yes. He's a librarian by City of Ikumbeni, right? Just to affirm, literacy is a career. We have a whole librarian, guys. So,
good morning, everyone. Mine is just a short one to welcome you guys to our space, to make sure that you feel at home. The organizers of this event, they would have loved to have this program in a library, but the libraries that they earmarked had some technical issues, like some of them you find that the ceiling is falling apart. So we had to opt for this venue. Even here we would have loved to have been in the library. The significance of doing this in a library, and I applaud the organizers for that, is that we want, as the city of Ekurhuleni, to have the voices of our people in our spaces. We've seen a new trend, something that I'm actually writing about, which we call it epistemicide, which will be the intentional erasure of people's knowledge and then placing others above that. And as libraries, we cannot take part in that, where we find that our libraries are full of books that were written by other people other than ourselves. There's nothing in our libraries that comes from us. So as that is my personal goal to make sure that our people's voices are in the right places. And the city of Ekurhuleni is also on course with that. And I would like to commend the guys for Habitat 61 in their job that they do to make sure that our people's voices are heard and they are recorded well and they're at the places where they should be. And I want to congratulate the young people who wrote this book. I saw one of you guys wrote about Bafana. I was quickly, hey, that's my name. What is this story about? And I loved what I was reading there. It was well written. Your book is lovely. In those ways, I just want to say, be at home, guys. Enjoy the program and all the best to everyone who has written. And the future authors, please be inspired by this and keep writing. Thank you so much.
And now I would like to welcome myself to give the address on behalf of the Habitat 61. On behalf of Habitat 61, I would like to extend our deepest gratitude to everyone who's here today for the launch of the Echoes of Us. This project began as a vision, and the vision was to create a reading and writing culture in our high schools. And today, we are witnessing the fulfillment of that dream in a book that is not only a literary achievement, but also a social statement. At the heart of this celebration lies a powerful idea, the ideology of radical love for working class youth in our organizations and learning institutions. Radical love is a concept rooted in justice, healing, and social transformation. It is about choosing compassion, dignity, and care even in the face of violence, inequality, or exclusion. And in the work that we do in public education and in community work, it means seeing people fully, especially those who are often ignored or silenced. Radical love in this context means building environments where learners are not controlled, where they are seen, heard, and nurtured, even when resources are limited. In our under-resourced schools, where learners are often defined by what they lack, radical love says, you are more than your circumstances. And that's what Echoes of Us is. It's a reflection of what happens when we choose to love our learners, not with sentimentality, but with commitment. When we affirm their dignity, honor their imagination, we tell them, you are seen, you are heard, and you matter. Radical love lives in every page of this anthology, and through initiatives like Inaludaba Literature Festival and this very book launch, we aim to turn our public schools into spaces of dignity where literacy is not just an academic exercise, but an act of remembering and resisting. Echoes of Us, this book that's right here in front of us, I'm just going to keep saying Echoes of Us a lot. It's an invitation to reimagine our classrooms as spaces of possibility. It's also an opportunity for us to confront our internal biases as educators, as facilitators, as teachers, as parents. It's an opportunity to listen deeply and also to teach in ways that center the lives of our children. This book is a reminder that literacy is a right, not a privilege. And to our top 20 writers, thank you for your courage. I know it took a lot out of us all. We were texting on WhatsApp, doing back and forth. So thank you for writing about subjects that no one is talking about in real life. When you turn on the TV, no one's talking about school-based violence the way that you guys are talking about it. No one's talking about addiction in school the way that you wrote about it. So thank you for having that courage, for writing about something that's not popular. Thank you for that. And to our educators, thank you for nurturing that talent and that courage also in the classroom every day. To our parents and partners, thank you for believing in the power of reading and writing. And with that said, thank you and welcome officially. It took us back, right? It really took us back. So yeah, parents, teachers, professionals, educators, this is a plea from our organization as well to say, in the pockets there's a 200 that can support our cause. So please buy the book, but also you're not just buying the book for the sake of supporting the organization and for young people in our city. You are also assuring that we manifest the vision of building a reading and writing culture. So parents, if you have teenagers at home, there's some exercises here at the back that we've spent months, drafting and thinking of how they can be implemented also in order for us to utilize them as an icebreaker to have conversations about things that make us uncomfortable with our children. It's not easy to talk about sex and alcohol abuse and all these other things with our teenagers. So we hope that this book can live at home, not only as just a book that will go on the shelf there, but it will be an engagement tool that we can utilize as parents, as teachers, also even in the classroom to say, how do we break the ice and actually get to a level where we can engage on such topics that are in the book. With that said, we are going to jump on to our guest speaker segment. And the people that we've invited to speak are champions in assuring that literacy is not just an academic exercise. It's a form of resisting, of remembering, and also of engaging with our people to talk about it. So with that said, our first speaker has played a key role in helping bring this anthology to life. I would like to welcome Mr. Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, Director of REDTREE. Yes, you can welcome him. is an author, writer himself. He has published, how many is it, two books?
Yeah.
Yes, I've read one, Township Stories, and yeah, he's a very insightful individual. If you sit down with him and engage with him, and
you have reassured us that better days are coming. When it comes to issues of books, the promotion of literature, particularly in townships, there is what we call knowledge terrorism. Knowledge terrorism is when people, Raphael, they are recycling books, outdated books with stale information from the UK, Canada, New Zealand. Then they repackage them somewhere in Cape Town. Thank you. And they repackage those books. And those books, they filled our libraries to the rafters. Our communities are being fed stale and outdated information. Hence, we are still catching up on industrial revolution. But when men like Bafana stand up and tell us that city of Ekurhuleni, they are recognizing young writers, African writers, you are reassuring us. Thank you so much. And to the young writers, initially when I was given the manuscript, the raw manuscript, I said, hey, what am I going to do with this? And the moment when I started going through the manuscript, hey, I was so amazed. It's like some of you are seasoned authors, seasoned writers, well-researched. And the manner in which you are articulating yourselves, you deserve a good round of applause. And the journey that we have started, I can tell you, it has directed or redirected yourself to greater heights. There's great future ahead. And today, I'm going to encourage your parents and your educators to give you all the necessary support that you need. One day, I want to see you as the best author in Africa. Thank you. You always give without taking, without even asking questions. And the work that you're doing, I'm telling you, God will reward you one day. And I can see you're very passionate about it. You're very passionate. From the moment I met you guys back in 2021? 2021,
first Nalutaba.
Yeah, first Nalutaba literature. And having said that, I will urge parents to make sure that they buy these books, they procure these books, so that it goes back to this project of Nalutaba literature, to make sure that the 2025 Utaba literature becomes a success through you. Big up to you. And our guest as well from Ekurhuleni News, Madlogov, thank you for being here, because that will make sure that your marketing strategy in promoting the work of these young writers becomes a success. Thank you so much.
Thank you to Dr. Mkhwanazi. Like he said, we met in 2021 at our first Nalutaba Literature Festival, and I mean, we were doing it at a dump site. You know, we had just cleaned up a dump site, we placed our containers there, and we approached our local schools and we said, hey guys, we have this poetry slam competition for high school students. You know, we'd like for you guys to participate. And yeah, everyone, you know, showed up, and there he was, Mr. Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, and we're still here. We're still on the journey of building a reading and writing culture. So.
Good morning, how are you? My name is Raphael, and all that Poppy said, but most of all I'm a teacher, like many of you here, and I'm a facilitator of youth programs in the country, and all the things that I do as a poet, editor, translator, whatever I am, working with young kids and develop young writers is the best thing for me, is the thing that I like the most. So thank you, Habitat 61, for inviting me. Poppy, whom I met today for the first time, and Masai, who's been a long time fellow poet and friend. Thank you to the library of Kuruleni for giving us this space, and thank you to the parents and the teachers for being here. And most of all, thank you to the kids who contributed to this beautiful anthology that I recommend to everyone. So I was invited to say something about the importance of reading and writing, and for me as a writer, this is the simplest thing of all, because asking a writer about the importance of reading and writing is like asking a musician about the importance of listening to a record and playing an instrument. It's like asking a rugby player about the importance of running and lifting weights, or asking a cook about the importance of flour and eggs. Reading and writing is part of who I am. Like, as a human being, I have to drink water every day, sleep every day, eat every day, exercise every day. As a writer, I have to read and write every day. So, in preparation for this, I was going to say something by heart, but I also thought that I'm talking about reading and writing, so let me lead by example. And so I penned something so that you know that I too write. And these are notes for our young, yet very mature writers. And Nhlanhla said this collection is not a collection written by writers who are trying and don't know what to do. They are young writers with tools and with craft and with talent. So why reading and writing? We read to know we are not alone. We think that our pain and our heartbreak are unprecedented in the history of the world, but then we read. It is books that teach us that the things that torment us most, like you guys have powerfully said in the book, are the very things that connect us with all the people who were alive, who had ever been alive. And when we understand this, when we see this, when we feel this, books become our trustworthy friends, therapists, counselors, and teachers. They become magic toolboxes. When we start loving books, we realize that only dull, unimaginative people refuse to be influenced by literature and poetry. You, the young authors of Echoes of Us, are writers, and writers are readers. As a writer, you must read, and you must read a lot. Philosopher Ludwig Wittgenstein said, "The limits of my language mean the limits of my world." You must read to expand your imagination, and therefore stretch the limits of your world, both real and imaginary. And if you don't read as a writer, you won't have the tools to write. As we Italians say, forget about it. You have to read. Be an avid and indiscriminate reader. Read everything. Classics, contemporary stories, fiction, non-fiction, science fiction, stories written by men, women, Old men, old women, young women. Stories by writers from South Africa, from Russia, Japan, Brazil, Italy. See how they do it. Just like a carpenter who works as an apprentice and studies the master, read. You will absorb it, then write. If it's good, you'll find out. If it's not, throw it out of the window. But read and write every day. Kitchens in restaurants use oats for recipes, from eel to artichoke, and poets eat for free. In the Republic of Poetry, poets read to the baboons at the zoo, and all the primates, poets and baboons alike, scream for joy. In the Republic of Poetry, poets rent a helicopter to bombard the National Palace with poems on bookmarks, and everyone in the courtyard rushes to grab a poem fluttering from the sky, blinded by weeping. In the Republic of Poetry, the guard at the airport will not allow you to leave the country until you declaim a poem for her, and she says, "Ah, beautiful." Beautiful, just like you, just like these young writers, beautiful like you all. Thank you very much.
Teachers. She's a head of Department for English at Bethlehem Secondary School, and like I said, she is at the forefront every single day, assuring that kids from foundational to senior phase fall in love with reading and writing, and also in terms of youth development as well, and helping them also to unlock their leadership skills. With that said, I would like to welcome one of my favorite English teachers ever, Mrs Mohale. If there was a teacher awards, I would nominate her times million for her to win. So Kupare Mufeng, just if you can just make it harder, and yeah, I just want to say I appreciate the work that she does. You know, Monday to Saturday, Monday to Sunday. You know, she's that teacher.
I hope I'll be that teacher. I'll use my voice. Am I audible enough?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much. Master of Ceremonies, the representative from Ekurhuleni Library, representative from Ekurhuleni South District Office, the leadership of Habitat 61, the educators, the parents, and our celebrants, which is our learners. I greet you all. There is nothing that fulfills the dream of a teacher than to see their learners succeed in life. It begins with a dream. It starts in a classroom where we teach them the skills of reading and writing. I feel honored this morning to have been invited to share with you the importance of reading. In Proverbs 21, verse 6, it reads as follows: train up the child the way he should be, so that even when he is old or she is old, he will not depart from it. As educators, we have paved a way for these learners to discover themselves, which lead us to the important elements, which leads me to the important elements of reading. I'm happy and I'm proud to stand here, seeing these 20 faces. I wish that we could have more of these faces, not 20, because we're shaping the future. My worry is one, that our children's future are dying slowly. And they're experiencing a painful death. You know why I'm saying that? Because there's so much information that is hidden in writing. And now our children are subjected to the digital world. So this information is lying somewhere in the libraries. They're not reading. The first point, when I was doing my research in preparation for this presentation, I came across an article by one of the psychologists, Saboth Sharma. I hope I'm spelling it correctly. Sharma. It's Saboth Sharma. He says, when you are reading a book, you try to connect the events, the emotions, the experiences, and the characters in the book with yourself. It helps you to broaden your dimensions of likes and dislikes. So if you look at our children, what do you see? A lost generation. Why? Because the information is in the books. Our children, they've lost interest in reading books. They don't read. Hence, more especially the kids that are coming from the township schools, they don't do well after matric. Most of them, the majority of them, they don't do well. They linger the streets. Some of them, they reduce to drug addicts. That is done deliberately. That is deliberately done for our children. Hence, I'm saying, our children's future, our children, they are dying a very slow death. I don't see any future. Not unless we stand up, we encourage them to read. And then he further says, comes better at remembering other important things of your life. Isn't it true? That is true. And then he says, reading improves your emotional health. When you look at books, they are full of emotions. When you read them, they're full of emotions. They will make you smile, they will make you cry, and which help us to grow emotionally. Look at the statistic of suicide in our societies. What are we saying about that? What are we saying about that? Our kids are killing, even the adults. It's because, you know what? The libraries, if you can go to the library during the week, they are not even visited, they are not used anymore. Because we believe in this, the digital world, which at times it misleads us. So once you read, emotionally you'll grow and you'll be able to deal with certain situations in your life. And then he says, reading expands your knowledge and makes you smarter. Today we have young writers here. It's because they read. It did not start from nowhere. It's because they read. They went out to research about their short stories. They read. So it has expanded, the reading has expanded their knowledge. So when you look at books, they are a source of information. The more you read, you get to learn new things. It makes you, again, when you read, it makes you empathic. You think about another person. Because when you read books, different books, you read about different characters. So, so that will build your emotions. Now, parents, colleagues, Habitat 61, I really support your initiative. I so wish that the district could expand this for our children. Because if we can have more of the young writers, I see a brighter future for all of us. Thank you.
next, I would like to introduce a new voice in storytelling. She is just 13 years old, and we've had the privilege and the honor of teaching her in 2023 at Don Park Primary School, where she had, when I met her, she, those kids with the blazers and the badges. I think she won 12 top 10 badges in your academic year at Don Park Primary School. She has over 8 certificates of achievements in various subjects that she's done. And also she served as a prefect at her school. With that said, could we please introduce Clarice we hope that in 5 years from now we can say, oh my God, I knew her before, before her Chimamanda days. Anyway, thank you, Clarice.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today I'll be talking about the importance of reading and writing in my life. If I'm being honest, when I was younger, I didn't like reading at all. I also didn't like writing. But last year, God tested me. My former English teacher, Mr. Zingitwa, he gave me a book every day, and I must be done reading it the next day and remember it. But today, I'll be talking about the importance of reading and writing in my life. A writer has the opportunity to encourage or motivate the reader. This happens especially when the writer is inspired and loves doing this, whereby a reader struggling through any obstacles in life finds daily motivation through reading. Reading could also be fun and relatable to escape from the world we live in. It could be comedy, action, romance, fantasy, family, and more. Reading could also teach us moral lessons, like to never judge a book by its cover, and that the grass is not always green on the other side. What happens in the dark always comes to light. Reading also helps us to build confidence and stand up for ourselves. Writing and reading can make an impact on your day-to-day life, whether it could be for yourself or for someone else. But it will benefit from both sides. The writer knowing that they made someone's day with that story or poem. Every book makes a difference in someone's life, whether it is 1% of the population or 100%. My first short story, How Reading Has Changed Angelica's Life, has made me proud and motivated to do more. Hopefully, before this year ends, I'll have a second book. It has gotten me on the radio where I could tell more about myself and my book. I gained more support and recognition of my writing skills. I was so proud of myself for having my first short story published at the age of 12 years old in grade 6. This is because writing doesn't have an age. And today, we are here to celebrate the echoes of us. Thank you.
Nice.
I'm so proud of Clarice. When I met her, she was in grade 6. Now she's in grade 8 and she's a teenager. See why I must buy the book, guys, so that we can work with Clarice until she's in grade 12. Yeah, thank you. Can we just give a round of applause for our guest speakers? Thank you, guys. Thank you. Please continue on. I know that being at the forefront is very hard, because that's where the casualties and the fatalities are. I think that we have a literacy crisis in this country, and our teachers, parents, even us also. I think the work that we do is very valid, and it's sore at times, you know. I think I just want to remind us that it's sore because there's a crisis, you know, we're at war. I think that's how I see this, this whole thing. So yeah, we're jumping on to segment 6 now, Q&As with the writers. Unfortunately, we don't have all 20 of the writers, but there's enough, right, that we can do a Q&A. So I'd like to just have a special moment as well, because we've just been talking about the writers. I'd like for us to see the writers, and also we can ask them questions as well as the audience, as the readers of the book. What do we want to know? I know I have a few questions that I've noted down. Yes, drink your water, guys, and then we're gonna welcome you guys. Round of applause. So you guys must come to the stage in there. Yes.
Good morning. My name is Charlene Gambiza, and I wrote a book with a short story with the title Broken Perfection. My short story was inspired by the way I was raised. I live with a present father, very thankful, and a present mother. And my mom has always taught me not to degrade others who don't have what I have. So when I wrote my story, I stepped into a situation I'm not in. I have present parents, and I try to step in shoes of someone without present parents. I try to step in shoes with someone who has to try to fit in at school, something that I haven't experienced. So I had to be very creative and open my mind very widely and try and accommodate those who don't have as much privileges as I did. I was taught and groomed to be very grateful, to be very appreciative, and until this day, my parents have always taught me to not judge someone by the shoes they walk in, because you don't know how the shoes are shrinking them in their toes. So I tried to step out of my comfortable shoes and wear someone else's and try and put that in my short story. I wrote a short story about a boy. His name is Crystal. And when I gave my story to my English teacher, she was very shocked because most of people who write short stories would write about a female, because I am a female. But I tried to step in a zone where I'm not comfortable in and try and focus things that I have not experienced because of the privilege that I've been given by God. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi from Parklands High. So I wrote about a book, Finding My Truth. So our theme for our short story competition last year was coming of age. So I believe that everyone has a different upbringing. So, and in our generation, I believe that we grew up in a I could say environment in our school where everyone is judged for their culture, religion, or how they act, or how they believe something should be. And I believe that everyone should be different, whether where you come from or how you are, and everything you do should be unique and different, the same way as you. So my story was about a boy named Prince Lionel, who basically, we all dream of taking out basically our parents and show them better to the world than we did, or they did, not the other way around. But I feel like that's a norm that everyone has, or every child has a perspective where they want to show their parents more of what they can do. But I believe that a lady once said, parents shouldn't push their children to the limit that they have never set themselves to. It's fine for you to believe that you want a better life for your child than you had, but everyone has their own limits, and I believe that we all set our own limits. And yeah, thank you.
Good morning to everyone, and good morning to all the beautiful parents that I'm seeing. My name is Nhlanhla Banda, and I am 17 years old. To be honest, I don't want to do this. To be honest, But I took it as something that I should do as a hobby to keep myself busy because there was a lot going on, to be honest. Being a teenager is a lot of work, very, very difficult, you know. But my story was basically inspired by a personal situation, home situation. My mom is a single parent, yes. I call her mother of the nation because she feels like she must help everyone in this world. So she has always taught me to say, not everything revolves around me just because I'm her daughter, and I should take everyone as my sibling, as my brother and my sister. So my story is basically titled as For Better or For Worse. It's a make it or break it situation. I took it because as teenagers, we are at a very tricky and crucial stage where you need to choose how to shape your future. It's either you make it or you break it. And I was taught that do not allow your situation to choose your future or your path that you should be in. So my story is about a boy that was affected by how his parents separated. But he had a choice to make it or break it. It's either you go to school, be better than your father, who left you with nothing, or you choose a life where you are nothing. And the ending of my story was a very happy ending because the boy made his life a better life, and a better life for his whole family and his parents. Thank you.
Hello. Yes, madam.
Good morning to everyone who's here. So standing in front of you is a young lady by the name of Thando Mavundise, right? So Thando Mavundise is a young writer who started writing last year, entered 2 competitions and she won both of them, right? Yeah. What inspired me to write my story is because I had a best friend who really came from a poor background, right? And then there were girls in my school who were popular, had everything, had rich parents. So my friend wouldn't want to play with me and want to play with them because she wanted to fit in, be popular, and be that girl, you know. So after that, those girls would go to parties. They had money. They would be like, "Mommy, can I have a 5K?" And their mother would be like, you see. And then when she asked for money, her parents had to work hard to get that money, but she didn't understand her background. She kept on comparing herself and wanting things that she didn't have, right? So what I learned from writing my story is that good things do not come to those who deserve it, but they come to those who work hard for it. Thank you.
Shakira. Come, Shakira.
Come, Shakira.
Good afternoon to everyone here.
Okay, now.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Is it working?
Yes.
Oh. I go by the name of Shakira Armut, and I come from Impact High, but I'm no longer in that school. I changed school because of the bullying and stuff. My story is called Depression is Eating Me. It's about a girl named Heavenly. Her name is called Heavenly because she was a gift, a blessing from her mom. So Heavenly didn't have a real father, so she grew up with a stepfather. That stepfather treated her like his very own daughter. The stepfather loved her, and Heavenly didn't even see that this person is my stepfather. Heavenly took that person as her own very father. Heavenly was raped by a father because the stepfather saw Heavenly growing and becoming a teenager. And as a teenager who's a woman, who's a girl, our body changes, so obviously you're gonna have curves, you're gonna have big breasts, and you know, everything becomes big and more beautiful. So her father saw that, okay, Heavenly is now a big girl, so she knows this stuff. She started molesting Heavenly, but then Heavenly ran away to a friend, to her best friend. She told that friend what happened, that she was molested by her father, and as an understanding friend, she decided to keep it as a secret. But the friend decided to tell Heavenly's mother. Even though Heavenly's mother didn't address this to Heavenly, that your friend Stephanie told me about the rape. No. Because the mother was also scared because she loved the father. You know, other mothers are voiceless. Yes. So are the kids. So, as a voiceless mother, the kid will also be voiceless. But Heavenly's best friend decided to be the bigger person in the story. But then, guess what happened? Heavenly ended up self-harm. Like, she started self-harm. She wanted to kill herself. She even joined bad groups at school. She started smoking, dating polo drivers, you know, and started going out even more late at night. Like, she would come back in the morning and she would sleep with these polo drivers because already her father has raped her. So what's the point of not sleeping with them because I'm no longer a virgin? So she had that in mind. But then her friend Stephanie loved her and decided to take her out of this group, this bad group, but this bad group kept on dragging Heavenly. Sometimes it's hard for us to come out of bad groups because we feel safe with them, but it's just wrong because we start smoking and, you know, drugs, all this and that, and we start drinking because drinking and smoking is a safe space for us because some people say it reduces stress and it doesn't. It really doesn't, but then yeah, she didn't step out of that group, even no matter how bad it was, she didn't step out. But then, as her best friend who's honest, she decided to take Heavenly, out of that group, no matter how hard it was for her. Even Stephanie became bullied by these people because she wanted to take out Heavenly off that group. But she managed to take her out and talk to her mother, and the mother told her that, okay, your friend Stephanie told me that you were raped. So they got justice. They went to the police station, arrested the father, and as Heavenly was suffering from PTSD, she decided to get therapy. Yeah, it was a happy ending. She decided to get therapy, and the PTSD was still there, it doesn't go away. But then, yeah, she was more comfortable around men, let me just say that. Even though the trauma was still there, she was now comfortable, but she didn't see anyone as a father anymore. Every man, she was disgusted by every man she sees because of what happened. And especially every polo driver that she sees. She was disgusted. So this story is about if you were raped and you're voiceless, please read it so that your voice will come out and be heard and get justice. Thank you.
Okay, we have one last writer and then we can close up there.
Hello everybody. Okay, the story that I wrote was about something I experienced in school. I remember in grade 10, someone was being bullied for being gay and different. So I wanted to address this matter of gender. I know that all of us have grown up different. We're told that all this genders and different changes, boys and boys being in love and girls being in love, is wrong. I understand that. But we should not try to promote violence with it because I've noticed in school, people want to hurt each other with this problem. And I think that we should respect each other because no matter if you're gay or if you're straight, it doesn't matter, we're still human. We need to respect each other. Parents, please, I really hope that you tell your children, we do not hate people because they're different. We can just look at them, maybe we dislike what we see. I can understand that, we dislike it. And it is a problem in South Africa now, I can see, because people are getting hurt, they suicide. I was reading stories, there's suicide happening in America, young children are killing themselves because people are bullying them for being different. I understand that difference is not really easy to adapt to, we're not going to obviously see it today and accept it, but let's try to respect each other, we're all human beings. God gave us a life, in the Bible it does say we do not kill, thou shalt not kill. So I'm expecting us to respect everybody we see. People around, we know, they do not have everything. That even though they are wearing dresses and things we have never seen before, I know that life is changing and we should adapt to all these norms. We can just look at them, we can say we do not like them, but we do not have to hurt them. We can just see them in a different light. So thank you.
Greetings, my name is Katlehong Mashishi and I'm from Parklands High School. So to be honest, I didn't think that I'm able to write. So I didn't even sign into this competition. My teacher's the one that signed in for me because he believed that I would be able to write. So I'm very thankful for him for believing in me. And here I am today. So my book is about a young girl named Manqoba, which translates to conqueror. So I decided to give my character the name Conqueror because it's a very powerful name. I believe that it's very powerful and it has a very powerful meaning behind it. So my future plan is I want to continue with my book Manqoba. I want to expand it and I want to turn it into a novel because I believe that the book that I wrote is a short story and I haven't gotten into the details of the book. You know, there's more that I actually wanted to say. I wanted to express more about Manqoba and who she is and where she's from and all her challenges in life. So I am planning on expanding the book and turning it into a novel one day, and hopefully it will receive the support and the love. Thank you.
Just coming.
Greetings to all. My name is Dr. Raphael and I'm from Togotaba High School, as they say, high school. So my story is about, my story is her pain. So my story is about a girl called Anganati. She was bullied her first year in high school and she kept it to herself. So what inspired my story was that I was once that girl. I was bullied a lot my first year in high school and no one knew about it because I kept it to myself. So when I had this opportunity, I chose to tell everyone what I was going through, like in this story. So I started writing at the age of 8. Well, I didn't write short stories. I used to write poetry. I love poetry, but then now I know that I can also write a short story. So my plan is to continue writing short stories and to show people that a girl from Togotaba High School can be something, can be someone, and I want to inspire those. I want to inspire those who want to grow in writing, to step forward and actually make a change, and actually show the ones who cannot speak for themselves that they can get out of anything. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ndongai again, and I come from Parklands High School. To answer the question, let me first start from my book. My book is about a girl that goes to Parklands High, and in Parklands High they don't offer art classes. So this girl is an aspiring artist. She loves art, she loves doing art, but because her school doesn't provide art classes and they had to cut it due to budget costs, she went as far as asking the principal for donations, to ask for donations, for sponsorships, so that she can revive the art program. I, as an aspiring writer, I'd also love that to happen at our school, as Parklands High School. I'd also love them to encourage us and see us as aspiring writers and just give out opportunities just like the Heritage 61. I'd love that to happen more at our school because I know there's a lot of us that love writing. It's not just a few of us that are here today. I know there are a lot of us that would love go far and be writers, do art, and do just the things that are not provided at our schools. So I'd also love the opportunity at our school to give those children the opportunity to voice out themselves, bring out themselves and their talent. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, there's a hand. There's a hand right there. But yeah, looking at kids practicing radical love, right? I think that we also, as parents, it's an opportunity to learn and remember the values that we were raised under. With that said, Mom, what did you have to have? Okay, cool.
Between the genders.
Yes.
And as a mom of a boy child, I am out here lobbying for the boy child not to be left behind. And my question to you is, what are you going to do as part of your project in training to push these boys out of their caves where they are hiding? What's your plan? Because it seems on their own they are not stepping up.
Yes.
So there must be some form of grenade that we create to fumigate them out of those hiding spaces.
Necessarily equipped to deal with it. Hence I'm sending it back to everybody to say, how do we get them to become more engaged, you know? I think that maybe even looking at the model of the man or the boy, that's something that we need to go to as a community to say, okay, maybe we should make such things cool for men and boys, you know? Maybe we should encourage self-expression in boy children from a very young age so that we don't get to a point where girl power is, you know, dominating and excluding other people, you know, because I think also it's not even just a gender thing as well. I think I would love also if we have queer kids that are represented, you know, and also, yeah, there's many groups that are missing here. So if we want a egalitarian society, I think that we should contribute as well. There's a question this side.
To answer that question, why the gender doesn't balance. My observation as a teacher, you know, is there's a lack of parental support.
Yep.
There's a lack of parental support. What the parents do, they push the kids to you, and then after that, they pile them up with their responsibilities. And then girls they now become parents. In fact, boys, they be kids. In fact, because it affects both boys and, so boys, girls, they manage to pull through. But with the boys, they lose interest. Because now you pump them with your responsibility as a parent. And then at the same time, you expect them to perform as good. It doesn't balance. I think if we can get support from the parents, the gender will balance.
To kind of take, I'm not sure if I have the direct answer for the question, but I think it's more of a cultural disconnect. There's that thing that's underlying there, and I think if the creativity is expanded in literature, it's not just books. I'm a musician. I write most of the days, you see. I like to take myself as a writer also, you see. So from that part, it was able to hook me, the music part, in which I think that's the issue with a lot of boys. We cannot stay in one place and try to do this thing. Hence, we find we should go many places. It's hard for us to sit in one place, so it has that cultural thing. So boys, you can find them better at soccer places and stuff like that, you see. But how do these activities, how can we tie these activities with literature is where I see that's the thing. Thank you.